Hi everyone, myself Vamsi Krishna. As a part of end-to-end series of loading data from Amazon S3 to RDS, we have seen the introduction and we have seen how to read and write CSV files. And then we have seen how to create a Lambda function and how to read the file from Amazon S3. And in this session, we are going to focus mostly on how to create a RDS database and how to connect and interact with RDS MySQL database using Python. Okay, we are going to use Python function and I'm going to create a RDS instance using MySQL engine. Once RDS instance is created, I'm going to connect to RDS instance using SQL Workbench. I'm going to create a table. Inside that table, we are going to load the data using MySQL using Python. And I have a screenshot with me. Let me explain the functionality. We are going to use a module called MySQL connector. And once we have the MySQL connector, we are going to connect to MySQL connector.connect, and then we will create a connection request. Once we are able to connect to the database, we are going to create a cursor object and we are going to execute the query. And finally, we will get the result saying how many number of rows inserted. This is what we are going to do end to end. And even we can read the data also back once it is inserted. Let us get started with the implementation steps. First, we need to create a RDS instance. I have logged into the AWS account and I'm going to create a RDS instance. And if you want to connect it from outside, you make RDS instance publicly accessible as yes. And if you want to connect within the AWS environment, you can say publicly accessible as no. Let us start creating database. Create database. And I'm going to select easy create. And I'm going to select MySQL because I'm going to store the data in MySQL. And database name, you can give we are doing application one something like project one database. I'm going to create with this name, application one project one database, and the master username is this, and password, let me explain. I'm going to keep a password upper lower, my name I can say like this, or else you can keep uppercase lowercase and you can say MySQL hash 436. You can keep anything, but make note of the password which you kept. I'm going to keep this as the password upper lower MySQL hash 436. Let me keep this password. And next, as we selected easy create, we can just click on create database. And once the database is created, I am going to change it to publicly accessible as yes. Create database. We need to wait until this database gets created. It may take some time. I'm going to pause the video until that is getting created. Click on the database identifier. Go to the configuration. In the configuration, we have the information. What is database instance ID, everything. And in connectivity and security, we have publicly accessible as no. I'm going to change this once the server is ready. Once the server is ready, we will get this modify option. I'm going to change publicly accessible to yes, so that I can connect from outside. We need to wait until this gets created. I'm going to pause the video until this gets created. Yeah, now server is ready. Let us go to the server and click on modify. And in modify, we need to make this publicly accessible to yes, so that I can connect it from my Windows machine or other places. If you are connecting it from EC2 instance, or if you are connecting it with Lambda function, no need to make this publicly accessible as yes. If at all you want to connect from outside the network, you need to make publicly accessible as yes. And one more thing, in the security group, you need to check whether you are able to connect it from outside as well. If the security group is different, then we need to change the CADR block for this RDS as well. These are the two things which you may face issues when you are connecting from outside. Click on the security group ID, and if you see here, it is having all traffic. If at all you see source as different, you change it to your own network IP. You can select your network IP and keep it here. Let me go here and click on modify, and I'm going to make publicly accessible as yes. Okay, scroll down. We are going to change publicly accessible as yes. If you see publicly accessible as yes, meaning EC2 instances and devices outside of VPC hosting, the DB instance will connect to the DB instance. You must also select one or more VPC security groups that specify EC2 instance and device can connect to the DB instance. If you say yes, everyone can connect to this. Let me scroll down and say continue. Click on modify DB instance. Perfect. Now we need to wait until this becomes yes. In the meantime, if you want to connect to this MySQL database, you can use SQL Workbench. I have a SQL Workbench tool with me. If at all you are doing it for the first time, SQL Workbench needs Java to be installed in your machine. This is SQL Workbench website. And when you see this SQL Workbench, it requires Java 8 or later. In my Windows machine, let me show you. I already have Java installed. That is the reason I'm able to launch SQL Workbench. If you simply download SQL Workbench without Java, it won't work. You need to install Java 8 or later, and you can use SQL Workbench for connecting to any of the databases. In this specific case, we are trying to connect to MySQL database using SQL Workbench so that we can create a table and we can insert the data. Let me open SQL Workbench. Here we need to select the driver, and in my case the driver is MySQL. Select the drop down and select the driver as MySQL. I selected the MySQL driver, com.mysql.cj.jdbc driver, and URL is nothing but jdbc colon MySQL. JDBC meaning Java database connectivity, and colon MySQL host name. Host name we can copy from RDS. Go here. Endpoint is nothing but host name. Copy this and put it here. This is the host name. Port number is nothing but 3306. MySQL port number is 3306. Name of the database, I can say MySQL. This is the default database name. If not, you can go to configuration and you can see DB name. DB name nothing is there. That is the reason I'm going ahead with default database name. And username is, you can see the username, connectivity and security. You can go and check configuration. In the configuration, when we created, username is admin. Okay, master username is admin. Click on admin, and password is this one. We kept this password. Perfect. Now we may need to provide driver also. We need to download MySQL driver. Let me say MySQL connector jar download. We need MySQL connector jar download. Go to MVN repository website. You can go to MVN repository website, and here we need to download MySQL connector jar, and the latest version is MySQL connector Java. The latest version is 8.0.21. You can click on this and you can download the jar file. 8.0.21 is the latest jar file. You can click on that. I already have installed in this my machine. Let me go ahead and select that. Manage drivers. Browse for the latest version of MySQL connector jar. This is the one, 8.0.21. Click on open. Click on OK. and then click on test. With URL, username, password, we are going to test the connection. The connection is successful. We are going to connect to the database and we are going to create the table. Perfect. Connection is successful. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now we need to create the table. Let me create table employee. We are going to create employee. Why? Because we are going to write a Python function which will read the CSV file and store it in MySQL database. For that, the columns are employee ID, employee name, employee address. I am going to create a table also with these headers. Create table employee, employee ID, int, comma, employee name, varchar of size 40, comma, employee address of varchar of size 40, and run this query. Okay, access generated for user admin to database MySQL. What we can do is we can create our own database. Create database employee DB. We are going to create our own database, and inside the database we are going to select use employee DB, and we are going to create a table. And once all these things are done, we are going to commit the transaction. Perfect. Database created and table also created, and the transaction is also successfully committed. If we want, we can select star from employee. Okay, nothing is there. Employee ID, employee name, employee address is empty. Now this is the database, this is the table. Now we need to see how to write the Python logic. First, we need to create a connection to MySQL using mysql.connector.connect. For that, first we need to install a module called MySQL connector. Pip install mysql-connector. This is the Python package which we need to download using pip. Pip install MySQL connector. It is already there in my case. Let it say it already exists. Okay, n came extra one time, remove one n. Pip install MySQL connector. Okay, requirement already satisfied. In my case, MySQL connector package is already there. And next, what we are going to do, we are going to write a Python application using mysql.connector.connect. We are going to mention the details of the database. This is the logic which I have written. Insert data into mysql.py. You can import CSV file because our data is in CSV, and you can import mysql.connector. And if there are any error, and if you want to show any error codes, we need this as well. Now, first thing is mysql.connector.connect host. What is our host? We can copy it from RDS. Go to connectivity and security, copy the host. Okay, host we have given. What is our database? Database we just created. Our database is employee database. Username is admin. Password is upper lower MySQL #436, and insert query. Insert query is nothing but insert into employee, employee ID, employee name, employee address, value. These are called positional parameters. I'm going to replace those positional parameters when I'm executing the query. And as per this diagram, we have created the mysql.connector.connect, which will send a connection request. Then once it is connected, I'm going to create a cursor object using connection.cursor. See here, I'm going to create connection.cursor. See, I'm going to create a cursor. Once we create connection object and connection.cursor is there, you will get connected to that, and you can use cursor.execute and you can get the result data. Even I'm using cursor.execute many because in my case I have two rows. I cannot use execute multiple times for passing the records, I'm going to use execute many, where I can pass the insert query and I can pass the rows. Rows are nothing but I'm reading it from CSV file. For this logic, you can refer my earlier video. I showed how to read the CSV file using dictionary reader and how to append these values into the rows. And these particular rows I'm going to select and pass it to cursor.execute many. Once I execute this, I'm going to commit the transaction. This will insert the data into the table. Now immediately I'm going to write a select query and see how many number of rows are there in the table. Here I'm using execute many for inserting multiple rows, and I'm using execute, and instead of cursor dot execute many, I'm using cursor dot execute, and I'm going to use cursor dot fetch all, so that I'll get the all the records whatever got inserted. Okay, I'm going to add these imports. I'm going to write all this logic in try catch. If at all there are any issues and if at all it fails to insert the record into the table, I'm going to catch that in the except block. And once everything is smooth, I have a finally block which will execute for all cases. And I'm saying if the connection is connected, you close the connection. This will execute for all the cases. Finally is a block which will completely execute for this particular code. Now let me run this. I'm going to say Python insert data into mysql.py file. In your case, you can keep any Python file name. Perfect. 2 records inserted into the employee table. We can verify from SQL Workbench as well. Copy this, and we are able to see the. We can select this. Let us reconnect to this again. Disconnect and connect to it again. File, connect window, click on OK, and you can remove. Keep these things in Notepad and just remove create query and just run this. Remove create database also. Just run this query. Perfect. I'm going to see these 2 records. These 2 records are nothing but my CSV file data. Employee ID, employee name, address. I am able to see the data inside this. What we simply did is, let me show the diagram again. We created a mysql.connector.connect, and then we got the connection request and it got connected, and then we created a cursor object and we executed. If it is single record, you can use execute multiple times. In my case, I have multiple records. Instead of execute, I use execute many. I use execute many and I pass the query, and then I pass the values as well. This is my query, and then I pass the values as well. I'm going to keep this query inside the YouTube description as well, and this will insert multiple rows, and then I committed the transaction, and then I printed how many rows got inserted, and then whatever the rows got inserted, if you want to see them again, you write a select query, select star from employee, and you create a cursor, connection.cursor, and cursor.execute of your query, and cursor.fetch all will give you all the rows. And once I get the records, I'm going to use for loop. I'm printing row of 0, row of 1, row of 2, because I have 3 columns: employee ID, employee name, employee address, and I'm closing the cursor. In the end, I'm checking whether the connection is connected, and I'm closing the connection. That's why I'm able to see my SQL connection is closed. In the next video, we need to run this code in the Lambda function, but for that, Lambda function need layer for MySQL connector. Without layer, Lambda function does not work. I will explain that part, and I will show you the error, how to create a Lambda layer, how to make the same code work in Lambda layer. We will see in the next video. Thanks everyone for watching this video.